Okay, everyone. So I found a flat site to sleep in the car. There's the creek's right over there for some water, and I think this is going to be my base camp to do massive tomorrow. There is a four-wheel drive road that I came across, but a little ways up the road, I just found some ruts that were impassable. But this way will still help me cut off some mileage from the main trailhead, which is a two-wheel drive trailhead that's further down this road. So that's appreciated, especially if the weather will get, iffy tomorrow. I can be up and down there pretty fast, hopefully. So yeah, I'm not going to turn in soon or anything. I have dinner to cook and a few other things to do, but just giving that update, and might not see you tomorrow morning. To show you just how much I'm dirt bagging it, this is how I take a shower. And it's morning, everyone. So leaving my campsite, as you can tell. And today, as I said, we're going for Mount Massive, which, besides the fact that it sounds like it was named by a 10-year-old, is the second highest peak in Colorado, and made a convenient stopover from the highest peak in Colorado that I did yesterday, Mount Elbert. So it rained it drizzled on and off most of the night, but this morning at least it hasn't rained for a couple hours. So and the clouds are kind of breaking up a little bit, seeing some blue sky, but that is not supposed to last if the forecast is accurate at all. So, but I think I have a window in the morning to get up to the summit and then come back down before it starts raining. At least that's the theory. But the mountains in practice rarely hold the theory, so we'll see how it works out. I'm definitely enjoying my hike through this area right now. I mean, you can kind of see with the recent rains, I mean, everything just feels pretty moist and lush and everything. Kind of reminds you of the Pacific Northwest, which Colorado is generally much drier than the Pacific Northwest. So kind of a cool, unique thing, and haven't seen anyone else on the trail so far. It's because it's on a pretty rough road. It's a little harder to get back to, so I think that keeps some people away. But yeah, pleasant evening, morning. Definitely humid, but I mean, it's cool too, so it's not that big of a deal. So here's where we branch off. And I've been surprised by this area, pleasantly surprised so far. It feels very scenic, feels very much like a wilderness area, which is it's designated as. So, but little over 3,000 feet to go, and from here the trail goes from relatively gentle to a higher grade. So probably going to be some slower going, but making good progress so far. Instead of burning off as you'd expect, this fog is just seems to be increasing and creating cooler and cooler effects along the peaks. So within the span of a couple minutes, my route up the mountain, the summit is somewhere in there, got kind of clouded out, so probably be getting a little further and then probably no more of these views. But yeah, I guess I can hope that it does get burned off eventually, but I don't know if it will. Socked in more than a pair of Christmas stockings. You guys, I don't think I've seen anything quite like this in the mountains. This is really cool. Just this fog and clouds that are just wrapping around all the peaks like this for such a long time. I mean, it's getting close to 9 in the morning and we're still getting all this really cool moisture and fog all over the place. So I definitely appreciate it as a way to, you know, spice up even more this area, which is already pretty scenic. Should add too that, I mean, like, you know, this kind of thing is fairly more common in, you know, wetter mountainous areas, like you think of the Cascades in Washington, for instance, or Oregon. But, you know, this sort of thing in Colorado is definitely a special treat, because Colorado is a pretty dry state. So definitely enjoying it. So I'm starting to get drizzled on a little bit, and I'm guessing as I go higher up I'll probably increase. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. This was about the only time of day where there was supposed to be no rain, according to the forecast anyhow. But the only forecast that's true is the one you end up experiencing. About 500 more feet to go, and the views are pretty much totally lost, but just a little bit over to the west there. But yeah, man, I've really been dragging my butt. I think the last couple of days have definitely done a number on me, and I'm feeling it, but not much longer, just a couple more 100 feet. Look at that view. Ladies and gentlemen, the summit of Mount Massive, second highest peak in Colorado. And you'll just have to believe me that this is the summit, because you would have no other way of knowing. Couldn't have more of a contrast compared to yesterday. But yeah, just, yesterday on Albert, being able to, that's maybe the most vast view I've ever gotten on a summit, and this is maybe the least vast. Though I imagine it is quite spectacular when there's none of these clouds in the way. But yeah, 14,430 odd feet. So definitely high up there, even if it doesn't feel like it that much. Besides the oxygen deprivation, but yeah, I definitely had to haul my butt a bit to get up here. It was definitely feeling the last couple days, like I said. But yeah, the downhills should hopefully be easier. I mean, you can't really tell right now, but there's mostly trail and stuff. And oh, look at this. Somebody left me a sign. Well, it's good because I have the summit to myself right now, which I guess is the one consolation. But yeah, people often bring signs up here with like the peak name and whatever the elevation is for 14ers. It's a pretty common practice. I've never done it myself, but now I have the opportunity to. Seriously, guys, it's really this tall, I swear. Well, other than having tagged the summit and taking a bit of a rest, not much of a point in staying here any longer, so I'm going to start heading down. And yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a single person this entire time. I mean, maybe if these clouds were in the way, I would see a person or two, but yeah, so that's nice. I mean, you don't, basically almost never do you get a 14er summit like this all to yourself in peak hiking season, summer like this. So I will take the blessings that are there, definitely. And yeah, I'm gonna start moving. And the one other thought I had is that I am the only person in the entire world who can see the summit of Mount Massive right now, which is that rock. Of course, once I go 50 feet in that direction, I won't be able to see it. But hey, just let me have what I can get. And wouldn't you know it, just as I start walking away, of course, guess that was all it took. Last thing on the descent here, I'm definitely glad that I had a GPS on my phone, because I would not have known where the summit was. Because normally you just say, oh look, that's the highest point. Well, there it is. But if you don't have a GPS, man, I don't know how you're figuring it out if you haven't been here before. I passed like several people that are still going up when I'm coming down, and I thought I kind of started late at 6:45ish, so I'm surprised to see as many people going up as there are. But oh man, I don't know, there's a couple times up there I could have just laid down and fallen asleep. I think the 3 days, consecutive days above 14,000 feet is probably taking a bit of a toll. So, but the good news about that is the further I go down, the better it gets, and I'm already feeling a little better. So, and who knows, maybe the views will clear, but I wouldn't count on it. Mount Albert coming into view there, just barely, still a little capped by clouds, but things are starting to break a little bit, at least at the lower elevations. there you go, folks. Mount Massive. Man, definitely definitely bonked a little bit coming down there, but I don't know, I started to feel better again after some amount of time, and then I got here, and yeah, so yeah, rain fears were mostly unfounded. I did get drizzled on mostly at the end there when once I was below tree line. The drizzle really started, but then the sun would come out and then the drizzle, you know, so usual messy mountain weather. But yeah, I feel like I can't totally review the hike in all honesty, because I couldn't see the view from the top, man. I mean, like, what? Yeah, I wish I could have. That's the one part that really stunk, that I didn't get to do that. But I did get that sort of very cool clouds and the fog on the way coming up, and then, you know, it's not, that view from Massive is not going to be that much different from the one that I had at Elbert yesterday. So, you know, I can't complain too much. So, yeah, good hike. Yeah, now I'm going to head over further north to the Indian Peaks Wilderness, and there's a really special hike in there that I've been looking at for a while, that the second I saw pictures of it, I'm like, I'm going there. So I'll yeah, tell you about that more and get hiking on it in the next one.